So the breaking news from the All Blacks camp, Scott Robertson is no longer the All Blacks head coach. He has been sacked by New Zealand Rugby, and now there are a lot of questions regarding this All Black side. Now, it comes after there was an internal review process done regarding the coaching, and it seems like the players were not happy, including some who threatened to go overseas if this decision was not made. But Razor is no longer there as head coach. As to who will be filling in that role, at the moment it seems like Jamie Joseph is the front runner, but there is plenty to talk about regarding this All Black side. But jumping straight into it, what has Scott Robertson done wrong that got him sacked? Well, he didn't get that 100% winning record that all the All Blacks fans wanted, as this is a side that is held to an incredibly high standard. Some people from the very get-go didn't want Scott Robertson in that role, and I guess that's kind of the built-up frustration that has led to this decision also being made. But throughout his All Blacks tenure, Scott Robertson, he had a 74% winning rate. That was a little bit higher than we saw from Ian Foster. Did have 69%, but overall, in some of those big matches, the All Blacks weren't able to get the victories that a lot of people wanted to see. Throughout last season, the All Blacks did suffer the 3 losses, one up against South Africa, one up against Argentina, and then also during the end of year tour, they did lose the game up against the English. So some sides would consider that a decent season, only having the 3 defeats, but for New Zealand Rugby and in their review, they have decided wasn't good enough, so he is now gone from the equation. It's a really weird one to process, seeing as there's 2 years till that next World Cup. You'd assume that whoever gets that coaching role now, who replaces Scott Robertson, he will be likely staying until after that World Cup in 2027. Now there is a huge amount of pressure on whoever does receive that coaching role. Now there's no time frame in terms of when they will be coming in. There's no confirmation about what Scott Robertson will be doing next, but I do want to know what you guys think. He wasn't the most popular All Blacks coach that they have had. He didn't get that 4 years like he was promised initially, so I'm not too sure whether or not New Zealand Rugby have had to pay him out of the remaining years, similar to what we saw for Ian Foster, how they did try and get him to leave so that they didn't have to pay the rest of his wages. But in this case, because of him being sacked, maybe there's some sort of performance clause that they've got in there saying that because of those internal frustrations, maybe that does mean that they don't have to worry about him. And the other thing is, under the new coaches, you would assume that Scott, as All Blacks captain, is no longer a thing. Ardie Savea, he has been one of the players more vocal about the disapproval and disagreement with the direction this All Black side have been going. He was considering a long-term deal in Japan, perhaps going to Leinster because of it. But now that Scott Robertson is gone, you would think that a lot of those concerns that Savea had should now be dealt with, but it's a really weird one, definitely with the timing. You know, we're only just into January. There are still another 5 or 6 months till we actually see this All Black side in action. Got Super Rugby Pacific, so perhaps there's a couple coaches in that competition starting to jockey to try and get themselves a little bit closer to that All Blacks coaching contention. But of course, do let me know what you think of this decision in the comments down below. Have they made the right choice? Have the players got a bit too much power now compared to what they used to? And what do you think this means now for the 2026 season under a new All Blacks head coach? But nonetheless, thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, of course, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you all for the next one.